In this video, I'm just going to quickly go over and demonstrate the different cleaning solutions that you use for sanitizing and disinfecting in your FCC home. This is going off of military guidelines and recommendations, but this is good stuff for really any family childcare home or any home with children in it. The main ingredient really for the disinfectant and the sanitizer is bleach, and then the other ingredient that you're going to use is also just basic soap. So either your favorite dish soap or the Cell Suds, which is essentially dish soap too. It's something that I like to use as a all-around cleaner. And I put that in this recycled bottle. You just need to make sure that all of your bottles are labeled clearly, both for you and your inspectors, because these are the only things or types of cleaners that you should have out around the children. And then they still do need to be up high. So I keep these white bins that you can see back here. I got those at the dollar store. That's where all the cleaner, I just have a habit of stashing it back there. And so here are the bottles that I use. We have our sanitizing. This is the one I'll use on the tables and the chairs for this food service. That has a 1/4 teaspoon bleach to 1 pint of water. And then this is the disinfect. And that is what I would use in the bathroom area. And that has a little more bleach. It has 3/4 teaspoon bleach to 1 pint of water. And then this one is the disinfectant. This has a lot more bleach. This one you would use for bodily fluids such as blood or human waste. And that has 1/3 cup and 1 tablespoons bleach to 1 quart of water. So I've just recalculated that to fit in this container that holds 2 cups. So first off, when I mix this, you're making this every morning. You make it fresh because it loses its potency. So important to do, making sure to use cold water because hot water will damage the bleach, and then that would also lose potency with the hot water. So the funnel works pretty good. You can make these up pretty quickly. And so, you add water to each container, and then if you have a little splash of bleach in your measuring cup, you can dispense the teaspoons and the correct measurements of what you need of bleach. And then the soap, when you make that up, it's just really simple. You might use like a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of soap, just depending on how concentrated your soap is, and then shake that up. If you use too much, you'll know because it gets really bubbly and might be just hard to rinse off. So not very much soap. It's really just the first step in most of your cleaning processes that you have. So here we have it. I use these little this actually is a dry erase tape, and then I can write with a dry erase marker every day. I'll write the date on there, and once the date is on there, I can set that aside, and I know my cleaner is good for the rest of the day, and whoever might be coming to inspect me, if they are that day, they see that I am compliant and I'm making sure that I have freshly made sanitizers and disinfectant. You also are needing to do like a pH test on this, but that I'm not going to demonstrate in the video. And that is really just something that's required of the military. I put that under my sink with a child lock. So here I'm going to do the tabletops. I've got my sanitizer and I've got my soap, and these are all made up. This has the date on it for the date that I had filmed this. And then the soap is clearly labeled. You can see the bubbles inside of there. And then I have a basket here of paper towels ready to go. So before the meal service, I go ahead and get my table ready to go so that it's safe for the kids to eat on. And the soap is the first step. That's gonna just pretty much get any dirt or debris or paint or anything off that might be on the table before we go to eat on it. And that's, fairly easy, just a nice wipe down. You can see the soapy bubbles forming, but I think those just really show up because my table's kind of dark. This table is one that was provided for my program. I'm not really sure what brand it is or anything. Okay, so now I'm going in with the second step, and I give that a good squirt with the disinfectant, and then that's gonna sit and do its job, and then we wait for 2 minutes on that before we do the rinse wipe. So 2 minutes pass, and then I'm gonna take my wet paper towel, and this is the step that's gonna just wipe off the bleach residue, and this will be the final step. And after this, I can wipe it dry if I need to, if we need to hurry and sit down, or it doesn't take long to dry, and then it's ready to use. The same process can be used on the chairs. So next is going to be the changing pad. This changing pad was provided for me by my FCC program. It's just a heavy duty, kind of easy thing to wipe down, and some people choose to use like some sort of paper towel or something between the child and the pad, but you still need to do this process every time between each child changing. So first the soap, and then you'll wipe the soap down, and the soap is just like the tables. It's the first step that's going to be getting away any debris, anything left over from diaper changing. I'm going to toss that, and then the next step will be the solution that does the disinfect. And so we give that one a squirt, and then this, it is a little stronger than the one for the tables, but it still is a 2-minute wait time. So we wait for 2 minutes on that. When that one's ready to go, same thing, we're going to use a wet paper towel for the rinse, and this will get all of the bleach residue that's left over, and so that's safe to use for the next child. And then if you don't have time to let that air dry, you can go ahead and dry it with a paper towel between uses. So this process you will also use on your toilets and surfaces at the end of the day, the top of the garbage can, the sink faucet, the soap dispenser, light switch, and doorknob, as well as other things that are highly touched, like this paper towel dispenser. But anyway, that's how we do the bathroom. Seems to work pretty good. Keep those cleaners up high, and then we'll move on into the toys. So for toys, we have a bin that every day when the children, if we see something go in their mouth, we'll set it up when they're done using it and put it in that bin. And then so we'll have a good amount of toys at the end of the day to wash, and then at the end of the week, I'll pretty much wash anything I can that's been in the room that they've been playing with. So everything stays really clean and sanitary. So the first step with this one is going to be the soap, and then a rinse. I like these containers. These are just colanders from the dollar store. They sort of help with this, with the rinsing and stuff, and just one of those things that can help with the air drying and stuff like that. So now I'm going to go in there with this heavier disinfectant that I will leave on for 5 minutes, and not too much, just a light squirt of that really, and then I'll set those aside for the bleach to do the job. So that's going to be 5 minutes, and same with this. So we'll just repeat all of the process. We've got our soap in here, and then we will do the rinse with that. Sometimes these, like if you have a bowl or a cup, it'll fill up with water, so you just kind of give that a little stir and a shake around. I have a wooden toy in this one. Wood is it's really just the same process. The main thing with wood is that I like to make sure that I dry those really quick. I wouldn't let the wood stuff air dry. I just go ahead and hand dry anything wood. This might wear out like the finishes of things with wood faster, but it's just kind of how it goes, keeping things sanitary and clean in your environment. They'll still have the same process. If somebody else has any insight about wood, please let me know, but this is just following the protocol for my licensing. And so this, these little colanders, they do kind of help keep things more separate or organized. The things are kind of mixed in right now, but I think they help. I bought like 6 of them, and that way when it's time to clean everything at the end of the week too, I have pretty much enough colanders to fit everything. I try not to keep too many toys out, especially with COVID and stuff, and with the babies. I really try to make my life a lot easier with cleanup and also with this process. I don't have to clean a million toys at the end of the week. If it's a nice sunny warm day, I can take these out to sit in the sun to dry. Usually if I have the weekend, they will dry over the weekend, or the small daily stuff that we have will dry overnight. Sometimes it's a little wet by morning, but that's okay. We just dry it off. So after the 5 minutes that last spray is sat, everything gets a really good rinse, and just making sure that all of that bleach is rinsed away. And it's very it's one nice thing about bleach is that it does rinse, and it's not, in the scheme of things, it's not very much bleach. It's still very diluted compared to the full concentrate, but if you get it really well rinsed, you're not gonna have any smell or odor of that. The other thing that you might consider is you can just do this same thing. You can bypass all of this if you just put it all in your dishwasher. So I haven't really done that because my dishwasher just always seems to be occupied with stuff, and so to me it's just easier to kind of do all this, because I will have to take it all out and put it away anyway. So there you go.